Welcome to the Folklore Collections Database, or as we call it, the FCD. FCD was developed through the National Folklore Archive Initiative project of the American Folklore Society. Support for the National Folklore Archive Initiative has come from the National Endowment for the Humanities Division of Preservation and Access. FCD is a national database of folklore collections held by academic institutions, state and federal government agencies, and nonprofit community-based organizations. This video focuses on user searches of the FCD. An important thing to remember before we get started. FCD is a database of information about folklore collections in the U.S. and the repositories that hold them. Although some of the records in FCD do have digital items associated with them, usually photographs, these materials are just representative of the contents of a particular collection. To access the resources you find described in FCD, you'll need to contact the repositories in custody of them. In the future, we do hope to add rich digital content to the FCD itself. Now, let's go over how you search FCD. So from the FCD homepage, you could access content in the database from 3 entry points: browsing, searching via keyword, or from one of the featured objects that appear at the bottom. Since these are pretty inviting, we can start here, and we can also click through to see what some other choices are. So you can click there and just get a sense of what's coming up as featured at any particular time. And let's look at Open House Storytelling Program Records from 1990. Okay, what is this? We can look at it, and it's a series, which means it's part of this collection, the Louisiana Folklife Program Project Files, 1976 to 2013. Here's a description of what it is, and then all sorts of other information about this particular resource. If you wanted to check out the collection it's a part of to see what else is in that collection, you could navigate up here and click. And this is the collection level record. This is the record for everything that's part of the Louisiana Folklife Program Project Files, including all of the series, sub-series, items. And from this record, you could click through to anything else that's part of the collection. So that's one way to access the content. Browsing the FCD. To browse the contents of the Folklore Collections database, you go up to this Browse button here and click on that little arrow. This will show you the 3 different options you have for browsing the database. A general browse, which will browse the entire contents of the database, every record. Collections, which will allow you to browse collection level records, and repositories, which will allow you to browse all the repositories. We're going to do a general browse just so you can see what that return screen looks like. Okay, this is what the browse and search return screens look like in FCD. When you do the browse of the entire database, you can see you have things sorted by collection and title, and then parts of collections. So a series or parts of collections. And it's alphanumerical. So you have 1984 to 1981, and then you go down to the next collection, 1998 collection, go down to the next collection, ACTA apprenticeship program, and so on. This is a lot of stuff. This is everything in the database. So if you do a browse on this scale, it's useful to be able to filter it down to get at more detailed stuff. So these are the filtering options. You can filter via keyword. You just enter a keyword, and then it will filter out all of these results to just those records that relate to the keyword. You can also limit it to collections only or items only, or you could limit it to specific individuals, organizations, or meetings. And there's a short list here, as you can see. Same with repositories. If you want more, you click there, and you have access to all of the entities. That's the term we use, all of the individuals, organizations, and meetings in the database. Same goes for repositories and collections. For an example, we'll do a filter by a keyword. So we'll enter the keyword basket and hit enter. Then that'll filter all these results for only records that relate to the keyword basket. So here are all the filtered results using the keyword basket. We can scroll down here and see what some of them are. There are sub-series, so parts of collections have been returned, collections themselves, items. And looking it over, there's all sorts of stuff. Florida stuff, Louisiana stuff. Let's look at this one because I'm interested in fishing creels. The Gene Carver Mckenzie Fishing Creels Collection. So here's the collection level record for the Gene Carver Mckenzie fishing creels collection. We can see the summary of the collection. We can see who is responsible for creating it, some scope and content. This film follows Gene Carver. So let's say we want to see this film. Well, because this is a union catalog, we have to go to the repository to try to get access to the materials. So we look for the repository entry in this record, and here it is, the University of Oregon Archives of Northwest Folklore. Here's the repository record. So this is a record of that repository that includes general information and also contact information. So if I wanted to see this film, I would contact the University of Oregon using this contact information and ask for how I could access that material. Searching the FCD by a keyword. To search the FCD via keyword, you go to the search box and you, type in a keyword. We'll use fishing as an example. You'll notice this quick return box pops up that shows you various content from the database broken out in certain ways that relate to the keyword fishing. That's not everything, though. This is just a selection. So if you want to see everything that relates to fishing, you hit enter. So here's the search return screen using the keyword fishing. You can notice it looks a lot like the browse screen because it is. And here's everything in the collection that's associated with the keyword fishing. Let's say we want to get a little more concise. Let's say that this is too much stuff, and really what we're interested in is fishing and Oregon. So we do a second search by hitting that keyword box and hitting enter. And here are the results in the database that relate to both fishing and Oregon. So we can look through and see if anything catches our eye. Here's our Gene Carver Mckenzie fishing creels collection again. So let's just hit that and there you go. And those are the basics of searching and browsing the Folklore Collections database. We bid you happy discovery.